Welcome to episode 2 of season 2 here in the Cambridge United Realistic Road to Glory. We made 7 signings in the transfer window yesterday. It is my expectation to finish the transfer window today. At present, I'm not looking to sign anyone else at this stage. Obviously, if we get bids for our players, that may well, probably will, change. And we might well see some more signings come over the line into the club in this save. In real life, Cambridge have made a signing. Kelland Watts, the centre-back, released from Newcastle, has joined Cambridge United IRL. If we hadn't made a centre-back signing at the beginning of this season and a centre-back signing midway through last season, then I would have brought Kelland Watts in now. If we need a centre-back at any point, we will sign Kelland Watts in this save, provided he still matches the power curve of where we are in our trajectory up the divisions. We obviously don't necessarily need to sign a 67 rated centre-back if by the time we need one, we're in the Premier League. But we'll take real-life Cambridge signings on a deal-by-deal basis. But we're going to see a number of debuts today. Like I say, the anticipation is to end the transfer window today, so we'll be doing all of the month of August. Playing Oxford, playing Charlton, playing Reading, simulating the league games of Bristol Rovers, Salford and Leyton Orient, and obviously the Carabao Cup game against Exeter. Should we win that, there may well be another one in the month of August. But you guys have been fantastic with your support of this save so far. Please do continue to keep that up. Do drop the video a like. It really helps the content out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and you won't miss out on any more as well. Thank you to everybody on the board behind me who joined the Patreon and the VIP tier to get themselves in this save. James, Nolan, Oliver, Gareth and Aaron are all now in. In fact, no, 4 of them are in the save. Gareth, you need to reply to me on Patreon, please, my friend. I need to see your player details and know your Twitch details, please. Thanks. Okay, right. I'm going to jump straight into the game against Oxford. Jack Grimm was disappointed with a slow start. Well, let's be honest, pal. We haven't started yet. Pre-season doesn't mean anything. Pre-match report here against Oxford United. We have ambitions of getting promoted this year. They have ambitions of, well, probably trying to do the same, in all honesty. But we haven't changed our tactics. We've just changed our playing staff, playing in this changed away kit. As of yet, no first team spot for Diabate, but once Zeno or Zach Jules starts to show a little bit of weakness, we might phase Diabate in. But we're very, very lucky that we have a 27, a 23 and a 22-year-old as our starting centre-backs at the moment, as well as having a 21-year-old Mamadou Jobe who's just signed a new contract at the club in real life for 3 years as an alternative option as well. So we've great depth in every position. And at the moment, not planning on building on it, but things change very quickly in the world of football, especially in the lower leagues. Hopefully our points tally will change here, because we don't want to be sat on 0 after this one, do we? It's Thornley now for Oxford. Into Steve Seddon. He did spend some time at Cambridge on loan in real life. Spent most of it injured, and when he did play, he wasn't spectacular. So hopefully we can isolate him as a bit of a weak link here for them. Rafferty will look to deliver, and it's a great ball too, and Grieve is there! As we tick over into stoppage time, the mullet does it again. Rafferty on debut with a wonderful cross to pick out the man in the middle. Our new number 9 leading the line and giving us a 1-0 advantage here. It's the first shot of the game. Keeper Kane got nowhere near it. And we lead at the Kassam. I don't know what the keepers do. It's a great header though. Brilliant tuck away. What a signing Grieve is turning out to be so far. Up the yellers! Even though we're in white and they're in yellow today. Rafferty forward to Brown. Through that gap. Nicely Luke Berry. And here's Rafferty again. And he's around the corner again. And he stood it up beautifully. Thomas with the header. Cousins will win that. And unfortunately it won't fly towards goal. Rafferty is a winning player. He knows how to get out of this division. Because he just did it with Portsmouth. Hopefully he can guide us to doing it ourselves this season. Maciel is forward here for them. Zach Jules drawn out of position to try and deal with it. We're forcing Oxford backwards. And George Thomas should intercept that and has done very well to do so. Strong challenge from Ruben Rodriguez. Fair challenge from Ruben Rodriguez. They're making changes, but we will have ourselves a 1-0 lead at the present moment in time. Recently relegated Huddersfield have just gone down 1-0 to Northampton. It's just popped up in the top corner. And at the moment, we are in prime position to get ourselves 3 points on opening day. The attempt to try and get to the Championship at the second attempt Looks like he might well be starting well. Can Nurse provide an assist from the other fullback position? Maybe! Thomas can't quite get there. Zeno fires the ball across to Brown. Gets it under control. Might be slightly mistaken. I think Marcus Brown was at Oxford last year and has been released and is now beating them back on his old stomping ground. Made a couple of changes. Dodds has come on, the youngster, who we're trying to get a loan move for, to be fair. But if he can get some first-team football for us, then that is certainly going to help his growth whilst he's still at the club. And he's made an impact here, hasn't he? Very much so. Grieve has Brown, who's now moved into a cam spot for us. Played in, but unfortunately not to be. 25 minutes to go. Might have been Cleary on for his debut in a moment as well. Diabate's also come on at centre-back to make his debut too. Everybody's getting the opportunity to make their first-team appearance today. Dodds over the top. Rafferty forward. He really is a man who knows how to get out of this division, isn't he? Looking for Berry through the gap. Berry! Oh, can't quite squeeze it to Grieve. Otherwise, surely we'd have been in for two. 20 minutes to go. Very, very nearly doubling our advantage. Oh, Thornley's overrun it. And Brown will look for Grieve through the middle. And here comes Luke Berry. Back in a Cambridge United shirt. Not scored the goal. Huddersfield have turned it around against Northampton. They were 1-0 down. It's now 2-1. It's heavy touch. Brown wins it back. We won't rush it. We don't need to. Berry to Brown. Forward to Dodds, who's in behind. Pace is his key stat, Dodds. Balance, apparently not. Falling over and flailing with his arms and legs all over the floor like you've turned a turtle upside down. As we're in the 92nd minute now, we are moments away from sealing victory away from home on the opening day of the League One season. And indeed, we have just done exactly that. Cambridge 1, Oxford 0. The title charge begins with 3 points. Confirmation that the young goalkeeper is going to go out on loan to Wrexham, which means we currently only have one goalkeeper at the club. That being Jack Stevens. Roman Bourne is going out for 12 months. Imagine we're paying 100% of his wages. Of course we are. So he's going to go out on loan. And at the minute, Jack Stevens is the only goalkeeper at the club. However, we will look to sign a free agent alternative. But who that alternative is depends on what happens to Jack Stevens. If we get bids for Jack Stevens, that's an unrealistic bid, we shall turn that down. If we get a bid for Jack Stevens that we end up having to accept because it's a realistic thing to do, then we have goalkeepers like Matt Macy or Adam Davies to go for. If we only need a backup, then Jordan Archer will be my go-to. Even though he's lower rated, it would mean that we could justify starting Jack Stevens, and we're more likely to get a realistic contract decided with Jordan Archer than we are Davies or Macy. So we're putting our faith in Jack Stevens. Hopefully that faith is repaid by him actually staying at the club. But that all depends on who comes in for him, doesn't it? Next match day is Bristol Rovers at home. They've got a regen Christensen at left back and Moyano on the left-hand side, their midfield as well. John Marcus up top, Scott Sinclair still on the right, and Rossiter still through the middle. This one we will be simming. And hopefully at the Cloudara Abbey Stadium, we'll get 3 points. We only get the one. Marcus Brown with his first goal for the club, and Grieve with another. 2 in 2 for Mr. Mullet Man. But at the moment, only 1 win in 2 for us as a club. Exeter next, a loan bid. Okay, let me just get a quick print screen of that because I need to feed that back because Sparring DK reported something similar himself to the devs earlier today, and I need to do the same. And then a bid for Rose. Now this is where we will now just accept the loan deal from anyone to get those youth players the first team football that they need. Moving forward, it's Exeter in the cup. Now Moreirense have come in for Liam Lee. It is my intention for him to replace George Thomas and Elias Kachunga as one of the 2 cams at the club. Hopefully he will grow very well out on loan. We limit the growth of first team squad players, but those youth players that are out on loan, I can't do anything about limiting their growth. So they grow by whatever they grow by when they're out on loan, and hopefully we can keep everyone else growing according to our rules of the save. Pre-match report here against Exeter City in the cup. Greasley, a Patreon player, does make it into the starting lineup on this occasion, so well done. Rankin on the right hand side, Scott up top through the middle. Might be Kedwin Scott actually that. We're going to play the rotated 11. Lee now will leave us though, won't he? And Rose as well. So we're going to have to fill those spots for the rotation side. Are we through in the Carabao Cup? No, we're out on pens. Oh no, I'm heartbroken. Not to worry, never mind. Back to the league then. MK Dons have made a bid for Dylan Dodds. Now, I would like to send him out on loan, not permanently. We have ambitions for Dylan Dodds in this squad. So, MK Dons, we will reject that. He's feeling really good. He doesn't want to be on the bench for Charlton. He will be on the bench for Charlton, but obviously it is our ambition to loan him out this season. As we've previously mentioned, he is loan listed. MK Dons wouldn't start him either, so I believe I'm quite well within my rights to reject that bid from MK Dons. It's Charlton away next. They've made some changes to their starting lineup. Charlton in real life have actually signed Will Mannion, the goalkeeper from Cambridge. We sold Will Mannion in this save whilst he was still a Cambridge United player, but Charlton have actually bought him from Cambridge, so he leaves the club anyway, so maybe we preemptively predicted that. Charlton playing a 5 at the back. We will play the side that won the game in the league. Berry. Nice sharp turn. George Thomas. Use the left back. We won't use the left back. Watson intercepts. Alfie May. Into Watson. Nice ball into Payne. Little ball roll. He's gotten past Zach Jules. He's still going. Jack Stevens in the way. It might fall free. It did fall free, but they still weren't able to turn it home. Well, certainly more action in the first half against Charlton here than we saw against Oxford. It took till the 45th minute for anything to happen in that game. It was 4.5 minutes when the first action happened in this one. Marcus Brown looking to break away here. Got Berry in support, who I was looking for, who I don't find. And Charlton will build again. Consider that stopped. Well in, Jordan Cousins. And into Luke Berry. And Greaves making a run. It's deflected well. Support is arriving. Looking for Bez. Turns really nicely. Brophy. Oh, the player of the season last year can't turn it home. Oh, it's terrible, terrible, terrible from the Charlton backline. George Thomas racing away. Quite non-existent in the first game, if I'm honest, against Oxford United. But George Thomas leading that number 10 Cam Roll fight for the time being in the battle with a number of other players in the squad. And now has his name on the score sheet as well. We lead away from home at the Valley, but Charlton have gifted us that one. Brown. Berry again. He loves to get forward, Luke Berry. That's what he used to do at Cambridge when he was last here. And Thomas can't double the advantage. Luke Berry has added such quality to his midfield already. It's what we expected of him, but to see it actually deliver as well is really rewarding. Jordan Cousins looking for an opening goal of the season. Potential candidate. Was on the list last year. Unfortunately for him, he went to Adam May, rather understandably. Berry with the header. Maynard with the save. Bez is on fire so far this season. Brown will deliver this one from out wide, and Berry could be underneath it again. He is! He's hit the post! Zeno can't keep it in play. Oh, Thomas caught on it. They started to press there, Charlton. It worked. Fraser, lovely ball through the gap. May's in. Zach Jules across to get to him. Brilliant defensive work. Pace of Zach Jules and Diabate are going to be crucial at the back for us this season. And Zeno's physicality is going to be just as vital. That's a lovely turn, though. Oh, he's absolutely sold us. He's done us the dummy. Payne pulls Charlton back level. Expect a little slotted through ball, and he's just decided, you know what? No. I want to take it on myself, thank you. Buried it in the top corner. Charlton level. Oh, nice little reverse ball. And Payne, their goal scorer, looking to cause us more pain, and might well do so. Forces the corner off George Nurse. Dig beyond for Luke Berry here as a change for us. Hopefully adds a little bit of fresh defensive solidarity in the midfield as Charlton very much look to try and win this. And Zeno's trying to get rid of it. Thankfully, Stevens pounces on it. Cousins out to Rafferty. Bit of space here for Brown. Grieve is getting forward. Drillett looking for him. And support's arriving. Jordan Cousins! Shouldn't have gone for the first timer. Had the space there to bring it down. Get a control. Find the back of the net. That, in the 90th minute, should have been 2-1 Cambridge. Cousins out wide, quickly looking for Grieve. Found well. Lift it, looking for Brophy. Found well. Round the corner looking for Nurse. Found well. Oh, ran off the pitch. Okay, good. That'll be a 1-1 draw against Charlton then. They had certainly chances to win it. We absolutely had chances to win it as well. The chance to win it in the last moment. But unfortunately, Jordan Cousins missed the target. And it's a 1-1 draw only against Charlton. 1 win and 2 draws thus far in our attempt to get out of this division. We're still in the playoffs. Up next, Salford. Matchday against recently promoted Salford, who've actually started the season quite well. They got 4 points from the first 3 games. We only have 5, so Salford will be in the top half for sure. 5 back for them. This is one we will be simulating and playing them later in the season. Still, that first team will hopefully do us proud. But it doesn't. Despite just edging the possession, having twice as many chances, Salford City get a win at the Abbey Stadium. They have started the season strongly. Now stronger than us. We lose at home. Down to 12th. Long way to go. Don't panic yet. Leighton Orient on the way. Joao Felix has gone to Roma, which is an intriguing one. We'll, of course, have the full season, the full opening window round up at the end of the episode. 4 back for Leighton Orient. 4-2-3-1 for them. We are having some fatigue concerns because the fixture list is so busy right now, but thankfully we have the squad to deal with it. Diabate will go in. We'll take Cousins out for Digby. Thomas, in fact, Soleil can go at Cam, and Dodds can go and start on the right-hand side. Hopefully, we'll be able to get a result here away from home with a decent performance. Yes, indeed we do. Soleil gets a goal after 9 minutes. Berry on the score sheet, and Grieve bags again. Back to winning ways for the U's. We'll be honest, it is a little bit of a relief that, after the dodgy result at home against Salford, I started to worry a little bit that maybe things weren't going to go all our way this season. We're back up to 7th, level on points with those in the playoffs, and it's Reading next. Time for played game number 3 then. Sam Smith and Harvey Nibbs both get the start on this occasion against us. They're in 17th though, Reading. A points deduction last time around saw them down in the lower reaches of the league, but this time they started the same as everybody else on 0. They've not started that well, but they still have the quality of player in the squad to make the difference here, so we cannot take them lightly. Our starting 11 kind of picks itself at the minute. Grieve is scoring regularly enough to keep Cleary out for now. Maybe Soleil for Brophy. Brophy's not been as electric at the beginning of this season as he was last year. Maybe we give Diabate a go for Zach Jules, but outside of that, I think I'm quite happy with everything at the moment. We are running slightly low on players at the minute with all of the loanees going out, but Jesus, Morrow has pace of 19 right now, 16 acceleration, 21 sprint speed. Oh dear. So we won't be loaning anyone else out. With live chat, we've decided that we're going to give Dodds some first team football this year and see what growth we can get out of him. So we may well be looking to make more signings in January. We will be looking to sign another goalkeeper on deadline day. And for the time being, we need to prove that we're a good team to come to by going and beating Reading if we can. Here comes Rafferty. He might not have electric pace, but I haven't found him wanting for it at the moment, actually, to be fair. Thomas. No, sorry, Berry to Thomas. Getting away. And Brown. Great ball. Oh, Soleil! And Benge deflects it behind for a corner. What could have been. What still could be. What is? George Thomas with the header. Cambridge 1, Reading 0. We do get the goal. Not great goalkeeping. Caught out by a textbook header down into the ground. Through the keeper's legs. And into the back of the net. We don't have much of a physical presence in the middle from set pieces at the minute. But George Thomas has done very well there. It wasn't through the keeper's legs. Button has just made a howler. Oof. Flew in with Grieve. Couldn't quite get there. Here's Aziz. Nurse intercepts. There was some in the live chat earlier saying that George Thomas had been non-existent in that cam roll. He has answered his critics so far with 2 goals in the last 2 played games. One against Charlton, one against Reading. Not exactly lesser opponents either. 2 good goals against 2 good teams. Linden and Mola into Valencia. And Aziz. Given away. Jordan Cousins intercepts nicely. George Thomas involved again. Looking for Grieve. He's got Brown on the overlap. We might be in for a second here. Brown has got a lot of work to do from here. And he might actually just do it. Wriggles his way free and Button makes the save. I don't quite know how he managed to make it past the defender, but make it past him he did. Put a bit more on this corner, go a bit deeper and try and get those big boys involved. Zeno's up. Oh, Yadom wins the header against Nurse and the keeper gathers. Could have been 2. Perhaps should have been 2. Nice Thomas. Not much room there. Works what little room he did have well. Berry closed down quickly, but he's turned really nicely too. And we'll look for Grieve into the channel. Grieve again! Button again. He's definitely made up for the mistake that gifted us the opening goal, hasn't he? With 2 very good stops from 2 very good efforts. We could have been well and truly gone and out of sight in this fixture so far, but their goalkeeper is keeping them in it. How many times did we say that about Jack Stevens last season? Starting to see why Reading are where they are in the division, though. They just concede too many chances. Like the League One Man United right now. Rafferty and Brown. That was late and pretty nasty by the Reading man. Valencia could be in trouble here. The referee did pull it back. And it is indeed a straight red card for Ava Valencia. Gone. In the 48th minute, Reading a goal and a man down. And rightly so. You don't get any easier decisions than that. Very straightforward. It was pretty comfortable for the referee. No decision to be made there. Diabate will get this out wide here to Nurse. Into Grieve. Can we compound the misery with scoring a second very quickly? No. Now watch them play like prime Barcelona and win 3-1. Yadom. Smith. Sam Smith against his former team. In the box. Turns well. And Aziz. Smith in the way almost. Aziz still going. Zeno. Corner Reading. 53rd minute. Aziz going off now as they look to adjust for that red card. Papo coming on. I presume they're adjusting for the red card and it's not just a like-for-like change, although him being number 9 is surprising. Here he is, Papo! Wow. He's up top with a hell of a haircut, but he can't find the target. Oh, he did find the target. It came off Diabate. Play continues. Here he is again, Papo. He's done well. He's found Nibsy. Little back heel. Lewis Wing. Papo again. Oh, what a turn. Papo! This time he does fire wide. I see Soleil at the back post. Can we with a big cross pick him out in the middle? No. Oh, they've missed that though. We'll try again. Brown beats his man for a second time. And this time can he find a teammate? No. Okay. Diabate. Diabate! That would have been goal of the season. Lewis Wing. Looking for an equaliser here. Reading. Nibsy's been moved out wide now onto the left-hand side. Brophy can't quite get to that. Mola over the top. Zeno will win the header. Digby forward. Advantage played. Cleary knocks that out well to Brophy, who's going to look to let the legs go and burn away with some extra pace. He's beaten his man as well. And George Thomas is through the gap. He's buried it beautifully, but it won't count. Lifting it over the onrushing keeper. The pass not quite timed to as perfect a moment as it need be. Oh, it's his big old tippy toe and his nose that's offside. That is one of the tightest offside calls you will ever see without the help of VAR. We don't make it 2, but 1 might still be enough. Here's Walker. Digby steps in well. Thomas taking his time. Soleil's out wide. Cleary's a player I want to try and utilise his physicality with. So get these balls in the box for Cleary to use his height and strength. Try to chest it down there. Can we get him on the ball on the floor? No is the answer. Thankfully, don't need to. Not necessarily firing on all cylinders in that one. Although the keeper did make some very good saves in the first half, to be fair. And we could have been 2 or 3 goals away by half-time before the red card even came. Reading with a couple of chances through Papo that they weren't able to take. And it will be defeat for them. And 3 points for the U's here in the last game of the month of August on transfer deadline day itself. See the biggest moves of the day Soloy moving to Leeds, Astavranch to Watford, and Junya Ito to, or Junya Ito, I'm not sure how to pronounce that to be completely honest, to Valencia from Stade de Reims, I think that is, in France. We do need a backup goalkeeper now, although I will wait until the very last moment to bring someone in, just in case someone comes in for Jack Stevens and we need to go for someone slightly better. But at the moment, Jordan Archer is the likely arrival at the club. Transfer deadline day underway then. A move in, or from League 2 to League 1. Bobby Poynton comes up from Bradford to Northampton here. Giorgio Scalvini, however, has made the biggest move of the day now. Bernd Leno's moved to Lazio, intriguing move there, but for nearly 40 million, Scalvini moves to Dortmund. Diakite moves to Nottingham Forest. Ben Yedder to Tottenham is an intriguing one at 34 years of age. Fatawu to Juventus. David Hansko to Real Sociedad. Some big moves on deadline day, and they're coming in quite thick and fast, aren't they? But nothing with regards Cambridge United yet. I am surprised that we haven't had anyone come in and show any interest whatsoever in Jack Stevens. Antonio Silva now moves to Leipzig from Benfica here. Oosh, that's a big one. Nicolo Barella, with 4 hours to go, to Arsenal for £85 million. Joins the Premier League. And, well, that is going to be it. Broja to Mönchengladbach on loan. Kani Chukwuemeka to Augsburg on loan. Ademola Lookman from Atalanta to Atletico Madrid. But we will be signing Jordan Archer on a free to add to the squad depth and give ourselves a second goalkeeper, because, let's be honest, one just isn't enough, is it? Jordan Archer is in for £2,000 a week. A deal done. We have a second goalkeeper now again. He's not 66, he's 65. As transfer deadline day comes to a close, we are currently sat 5th in the table after the first 6 games of the season. Blackpool, Charlton, Peterborough and Huddersfield all unbeaten thus far, and we are the best of the rest of those that have actually lost the game so far this season. Charlton, having drawn with us, didn't actually look that impressive, but find themselves in second thus far. We'll give you a full transfer window roundup of everything that's happened to this point in the window. Also show you what happened in the Euros as well, because I'm sure you'd be intrigued to... Jesus Christ. I'm sure you'd be intrigued to find out what was going on there, and we'll also give you a rundown of everybody who has been in the Patreon at the moment, see if there's been any moves on that front. Pedri to Inter Milan for £146.7 million is the biggest deal of the transfer window all told. Darwin Nunez to Real Madrid for 85.2 as well is one that I certainly wouldn't have seen coming. Joao Felix we saw, Joao Cancelo we didn't. Andy Robertson to Napoli, Liverpool making a lot of money. John Stones used to not blink in his photos, apparently. £54.9 million for him. Schlotterbeck moves within Germany from Borussia to Bayer. Joao Neves to Atletico Madrid, one of the biggest young talents in Europe. Fratesi to Newcastle. Bentancur, Napoli, Pellegrini, Barcelona. Marcos Llorente to Manchester United. Santiago Jimenez to Marseille. David Hansko we saw. Silva we saw. Di Lorenzo replaces Joao Cancelo at Manchester City. Scalvini and Lookman we saw. Lariente goes to Atalanta. Anthony moves, leaving Manchester United to go to Monaco for 37 million. A waste of money that was for Manchester United over the years. Estupinian to Sociedad. Richarlison to Juventus is an intriguing one. Mazraoui leaves Bayern München to go to Atletico Madrid. Lukaku to Dortmund. Todibo Frankfurt. Casemiro to Spurs is one I certainly would have expected. Zubeldia to Brighton. Mendes to Union Berlin. Gutierrez to Crystal Palace. That's a good signing for them, actually. Joe Willett to Atalanta. Lewis Ferguson. Certainly not a name I expected to see being moved around for £30+ million. Zeva Schlager, Conor Gallagher to Leipzig. Fatawu we saw. Carlos Augusto was a good player for us in the Union Berlin save. Very much enjoyed using him there. Arnau Martinez to PSG is no surprise. Milenkovic to Mönchengladbach. Traoré to Napoli. Nonto leaves Leeds to go to Monaco. Fekir to Galatasaray. Cucurella to Aston Villa. Fabio Vieira, Real Sociedad. Plojek's a player we used as well in a previous save. Mukiele to Nice. David Neres, blast from the past, even though he's still only 27. Malik Tillman to Freiburg is an intriguing one. Certainly a player we might even think about using at some point in this save. And Yoro, the young 18-year-old moving from Lille, going to Villarreal. So the finances are all in place. In fact, I'm No, we've not advanced anywhere, have we? We've just done transfer deadline day. So the squad looks like that. We have currently 6 players out on loan. We've made 8 signings in this transfer window. We still have £1.48 million in the transfer budget should we wish to spend that in January, with £12,500 available in the wage budget. So there is absolutely improvements that can be made to that squad. We just need to know whether we want to make improvements to that squad or whether we wait until the end of the season and the next summer window, because we look like this squad is going to get us up. If it does, then a number of those that are in their last year of their contract, probably like Stevens, definitely Andrew, definitely Morrow, Grimmer will probably just be one and done. Jordan Cousins would probably move on. Digby maybe as well. Soleil for sure. Brophy for sure. Kachunga for sure. George Thomas is having a good start to the season and looking to fight for a spot next year, depending on whether we go up or not. But it's going to be a big overhaul every single window, I believe. And AGF come in for Jack Stevens the day after the transfer window closes, as Braunschweig come in for Jordan Cousins. We'll be rejecting both of those, thank you. I will go and sort the Patreon spreadsheet out, and then I'll show you who's moved where there. But for now, that's all for all of the actual Cambridge United content. Actually, let me show you quickly, because I said I would. The Euros doesn't make for good reading for England fans, that's for sure. Ah, it's gone now. Good. All right, great. Well, I did show it earlier on in the stream, so maybe I'll try and bring that back up from the stream footage if I can. Basically, England, Portugal, Italy and France in a group, and England finished 3rd, so didn't go well for England. They were out, and it was Spain over Belgium by 3-2 in the final. It's annoying, because it was there earlier, and for some reason it removes it. Well done, game. Okay, let me go and sort this Patreon spreadsheet out, and I'll see you in a moment. Some moves for the Patreon players in this window. 3 signed for Cosenza, intriguingly. Michael Sillo, Andrew Tyrrell and Jaden Corker find themselves at Cosenza. So 2 goalkeepers and a left back for the Italians. Freiburg, the main team, signing Matthew Davison to join Dallas Greenleaf, who's in the 2nd string side at Freiburg. Cameron's gone to Mirandes. David Simpson's gone to Fenerbahce. Jordan Barlow has joined him in Turkey at Karagümrük, and then the other change is Joe to Mansfield from the free agents. At present, everyone else is where they were. No loan spells for anyone at this stage either. Gareth, I think, has now given me his player details, so I need to add him in. I've got JW to add in as well, and then I think we are done at the moment for all of the Patreon players as we stand right now. As ever, if you want to see your details in closer proximity, then do come and join me on stream and I can show you your stats in closer detail. But for now, that's where everyone is at the moment, all in the early 60s or very late 50s at present. Hopefully those of you that are involved in the English divisions will come up against you throughout the course of this save. But for now, that is definitely all for episode 2 of season 2. We're in the playoffs. We don't have good memories of the playoffs. Let's try and get ourselves into the top 2 by the end of the season. I'll see you next time.